Good morning, everybody. If there's any requests, feel free to shout them out.
Maddie, can we do some balance poses?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, not Maddie, sorry, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Habit.
No worries, no worries.
That would be great.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you.
Okay, we can get started. Make sure I stop sharing my screen. Sometimes I forget these little things. Okay. Did you have any requests, Diane?
Just my regular hips and shoulders.
Sweet. So we're gonna do head, shoulders, and balance poses today.
That sounds great. Thanks.
Sweet. Okay. Let's start standing on at the top of our mat. So place your palms down by your sides. Take your feet hip distance apart. You might lift up your toes and spread them wide and plant them down to the mat. Think about sending the energy from the floor all the way up through the legs. You might lift the kneecaps, engaging through the core all the way out the crown of the head. Lifting tall, close the eyes. Take a few inhales and exhales through the nose. Really grounding yourself. Thinking about maybe an intention you'd like to set for the day. And on your next inhale, you're going to inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze out long, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or jump the feet back into a high plank position. Exhale, chaturanga down, elbows in towards the body. Inhaling to an up dog, roll those shoulders up and back. Draw that belly button up and in. Exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips back, downward dog. Find some length here, sending that tailbone to the sky. Take a few breaths. You might bend your knees and hover them 1 inch above the ground, doming through the upper back here in this bear pose, just building some heat. Think about drawing that belly button up and in. Really strong through that upper back as you round and hover those knees 1 inch above the ground. Keep your breath steady here. And re-engage as you extend up. Lengthen long, flat back. On your next exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, and then step or jump to the top of your mat. Coming to a forward fold position once again. Inhale, gaze out, long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up over the head, coming up with a flat back. Exhale, arms by your side, Samastiti. Take a few moments to maybe wiggle out those legs. And then once again, grounding. On your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead, gaze up at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze out, long, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump the feet back, coming to that high plank position. Dome through the upper back, draw that belly button up and in. You might take a few rocks forward and back here if that feels good. And then exhale, chaturanga down, keeping those elbows in tight towards the body. Inhaling, up dog. Roll the shoulders up and back. And then exhale, downward dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Think about broadening through the upper back through the shoulder area. Tucking those elbows underneath the body. Take those fingertips, spread them wide. Take a few more breaths. You're gonna inhale that right leg up to the sky, bringing it forward to a high lunge or warrior one. Coming up, keeping that right leg in front, left knee lifted. You might bring your arms up overhead if that feels good. Then exhale, plant the hands, step the foot back. Take a vinyasa at your own pace, connecting your movement to your breath. Eventually meeting in a downward dog position. Once you're in that downward dog position, reconnect to that breath. On your next inhale, reach the left leg up to the sky, bringing it forward, high lunge, or warrior one on this left side. You might bring your arms up overhead if that feels good. Inhaling really big. And then exhaling, plant the hands down. Set the foot back. Once again, taking a vinyasa at your own pace. Connecting each movement to your breath. Turning back to a downward dog when you're ready. Keep that breath steady in and out through the nose. We're going to hover our knees 1 inch above the ground once again, bear pose. Dome to that upper back. Draw that belly button up and in. Really thinking about lifting here, building that heat, and then drop the knees down, coming to just a tabletop position right here. Drop that belly down, taking the chest and chin through. Inhale, round to the back. Draw the belly button up and in. Exhale, drop the belly. Inhale, round to the back. Exhale, drop the belly. You might keep this going or venture off. Whatever feels good to you as you connect each movement to your breath. Eventually coming to stillness. You're going to inhale, lifting that right arm up to the sky. Interlace it underneath the left. You might keep those hips lifted here. Giving that right shoulder a good stretch. And then planting that left hand when you're ready, come back up. You might take a few cat-cow to release the spine. Just letting everything relax and be loose and fluid. On the next inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky and releasing it underneath the right. You might extend that right arm forward if it feels good. Once again, giving that left shoulder a good stretch. Stay connected to your breath. When you're ready, plant that right hand coming back up to a tabletop position. Take a few cat-cow once again. Connecting each movement to your breath. You might even shift your arms out to a puppy pose, keeping those hips lifted, arms parallel out in front of you. Melting that chest down to the mat, giving your shoulders a good stretch. Take a couple more breaths here. And then swim through to a Sphinx position. Planting those forearms down. Take those shoulders up and back. You might take the chin down, rolling out the neck. Eventually, we're gonna lay our chest down on the mat, taking our arms back by our sides. Think about bringing our big toes together. And then on our next inhale, we're gonna lift our chest and lift our toes to Shalabhasa. So inhale, lifting, thinking about lengthening here through the crown of the head, out the toes. Keeping our breath steady. You might even inhale and lift a little taller, squeezing those shoulder blades together while finding length here. Might squeeze the glutes as well. And exhale, come down. Plant the hands, send it back to child's pose. Knees wide spread, arms extended forward. When you're ready, tuck those toes, send the hips back, downward dog here. Take a few breaths here. And on your next inhale, bring that right leg up to the sky, bringing it forward, low lunge to this runner's lunge here. And we're gonna open out to warrior two. So opening up to the left side, send those fingertips forward and back. Tuck that belly up and in. Find your breath. You're gonna bend that right elbow, sending the left arm up and over. Maybe even gazing up underneath that left tricep to the sky. When you're ready, come back up, warrior two, and revolve it back, sending the right arm up to the sky now. You might even gaze up at the ceiling once again. When you're ready, we're gonna come forward to a balanced position to half moon. So you're gonna plant that right hand up by your foot, lifting up the back toes. You might even bring that left arm up to the sky, gazing up at the thumb. Kind of a tricky balance for me. If you have to use a wall, totally fine. Float that back left foot up off the ground, keeping those hips open to that left wall. And then plant the foot up by the mat, up by the upper foot, at the top of the mat. Bend forward. Inhale up over the head, coming up with a flat back. Exhale, arms by your side. Inhale, arms up once again, gazing up at the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze that long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Take the feet back, step them back, and take a vinyasa at your own pace. Meeting in a downward dog, connecting each movement to your breath once again. On your next inhale, we're going to reach the left leg up to the sky now. Bringing it forward to that low runner's lunge. And eventually taking it out to warrior two. Opening up to that right side wall. You're going to tuck those hips up. Taking in the stomach, engaging through the core. Thinking about sending the fingertips forward and back. We're going to bend at the left elbow, bringing the right arm up and over. You might gaze up underneath that tricep towards the ceiling. And then take it up, revolving it back. Take the left arm up towards the ceiling, gazing up at that hand. And then bring it forward. We're going to plant that left hand, taking the right foot up, floating it high. Once again, if you want to test your balance a little bit, you might bring that right arm up to the sky, gazing up, kind of really tricky. Feel free to hold on to a wall if you need to. And planting the foot up by the upper foot. Forward fold up here. We're going to inhale, gaze out long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Taking the feet back to that high plank position. Rock forward and back here. We're going to take it back to downward dog. Finding length once again. On your next inhale, reach that right leg up to the sky, bringing it forward to a pigeon pose. So stretching up through the body, inhaling, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Relaxing into this position. Whatever that looks like for you today. Just really relaxing. Letting your exhales Be really deep here. Longer than your inhales. Letting tension release from that hip. Keep breathing here. Eventually coming up, plant those hands and step the foot back, high plank position, coming back to a downward dog. A few breaths. And when you're ready, inhale the left leg up, bringing it through to that pigeon pose on the other side. You might inhale, lengthen really tall, eventually exhaling and forward folding over that pigeon if that's what it looks like for you today. Just really releasing into this posture, letting your exhales be larger than your inhales. You're longer, not larger. Letting the oxygen swirl throughout your body, releasing that tension in your hip. Take a few more breaths here. Eventually making your way back up. Swing that right leg around, making your way to your back. You might have your knees into your chest. Rocking side to side, massaging out that lower back. You might even take those legs out to happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Letting those exhales be twice as long as your inhales. Eventually take those legs out long, bringing the palms up to the sky. You might tuck those shoulders underneath your back, maybe adjusting any article of clothing that you need to. Letting your body fully relax in this position. Coming to stillness. Shavasana. Bring your awareness back to your space. You might deepen your inhale and exhale, filling your lungs fully, and then releasing fully. Letting that oxygen flow in and out to the body freely. You might wiggle your fingers and toes and make other small movements. Eventually rolling to your favorite side. You might cradle your head with your arm. Eventually making your way to a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center, you might close your eyes and take a few more big inhales, breathing in through the nose. Maybe exhaling out the mouth. Once again, inhaling fully. And exhaling. One more big inhale. Releasing out the nose. Awesome job today, guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Namaste. Thanks for coming, guys.